Tim and I grew up in the country in a very small town down south. And we were within 35 miles of a large city that had a port. So as we grew older and things started to grow, you'd see farms with 1,000 acres or so sold to developers. And then the developer would take that 1,000 acres and put 3,000 houses on it. And then they had the audacity to call it Sunnyside Farms or Sunrise Farms or Sunset Farms. It's always funny, they pack 3,000 houses in a 1,000-acre parcel and then they name it something farms. That is absolutely ridiculous. So we moved out here to the country, and this is where we love to be, and this place will never grow up in our lifetime anyway, because we are so far out. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Two Brothers Outdoors. I'm Rick. Tim's working. I'm retired. Today we're going to be drawing some logs like this one right here. That's a nice 22-inch log that'll make great slabs for bar tops. So we're going to go get a few more logs. Come on along with me and see where we're getting them at. Alright guys, so taking you for a little ride on the four-wheeler. Go get a couple more logs, show you what we're after. If you watch our videos, the big brown trout that I caught a couple weeks ago, this is the creek I caught it in. See how small and shallow that creek is? Hard to believe it yielded a fish that was almost 22 inches long, huh? This isn't going to be a very long video, or it's not even going to be an instructional video. It's just a video of everyday life at Two Brothers, having a little fun, enjoying living out in the country, and the freedom that affords. In this area, it's not unusual to see a side-by-side go riding by, or a four-wheeler. That seems to be the mode of transportation for locals when they're staying local. So it's kind of a free community. It's really nice. Really enjoy living here. I've been here since 1987. Okay, so this is our pile of logs. Doesn't look like much. Some of them are absolute garbage, like that one. This one right here is 5'8". That seems to be a size a lot of customers like. And we're at 20 inches on the small end. That'll make some nice bar tops, end tables, coffee tables. See that mark right there? Can you see that? That's where somebody plunged a chainsaw into that. Alright, there's something that's grabbed my attention over here. Let's take a walk over and look at this little shorty log over here. This is our infamous stump dump. See this crack right here? May not look like much, but this crack is the result of us being on the edge of a cliff. I'm afraid to get too close to the edge because that crack indicates that this ground may give way to a landslide, and that's very possible with all the rain we've had. But I'll come over here on the edge of it. If you look down, that's a good 50-60 drop right, 50-60 foot drop right there. Alright, let's look at this log. I'll tell you what I have in mind for it. Now this is a maple. Looks like it might be a soft maple. It is 4'8". That would make some interesting slabs for coffee tables and end tables as well. But it's 23 inches across. And I have a guy that wants some cookies, 3 inches wide, between 20 and 24 inches in diameter. He wants to make vanity out of it. So this may just work for that, and I'll bring this home and call him and see if this is what he wants. If it is, we'll cut our cookies out of that. If not, we'll cut that up into slabs. I'm sure we won't have any problem getting rid of them. Alright guys, I'm just going to get this log rolled off this top over here. Pick it up, we'll haul that one out first, and then we'll come back for that one. I keep forgetting you're on my head, so I turn quickly. We'll come back for that one after. Let me turn real slow here. Try to keep my head straight ahead so you guys don't get dizzy. We're going to get that one on top over there. That's 20 inches on the small end. That's just the perfect size. This camera that I'm using right now, we call these our hat cameras because it slides on the brim of your hat. We've had these probably for 8 or 10 years. The only thing that's hard to do is not to jerk your head around like this when you're looking around. But we use these for fishing and hunting. And I thought it would be easier. Boy, that's heavy. Alright. These other logs, just a little bit too short for what we want. These are in the 4-foot range. Nobody seems to want 4-footers. They always want 5-foot or longer. So we'll leave these here. Those will end up getting pushed over the edge. And we'll take this one out, and then we'll come back for that one over there. Let's get this loaded up. On our last roundtable live that we had, we discussed utilizing wood or logs or trees that were sick or dying. In this case right here, this tree looks healthy. So I don't believe this was a sick or dying tree. I believe what this is somebody is clearing a landscape to either build or add on, or maybe the tree was just too close to their house and dropping pine needles all over it. But this tree nonetheless was taken down, and now we're going to utilize parts of it to make furniture or other things that'll be around for a long, long time. We try to get the log as balanced as possible when it's a short log like this, and then we'll secure a rope here just to keep it from nose diving if it wants to. If it goes back like this, it doesn't hurt anything, and this will get stopped on these bars. So we'll get this one home, and then we'll come back and grab that other one. Alright guys, we're in no big hurry. Got all day, so I'm just going to take my time. We'll run along here about 15 miles an hour, maybe 20. The road's kind of bumpy. Alright, we're going to stop the four-wheeler here for just a second. I want to walk over here to the edge of the road. Whew, that's a long way down there, huh? See that creek right there? That little tiny creek? That's the creek I caught that big 21-inch brown trout in. Is that hard to believe or what? And of course, if you see right down here, somebody stopped along the road here and winged a chair out, threw it away. Because you know the wilderness is a great place to dump garbage. God, it just tears me up, people doing stuff like that. Log still looks pretty good, so got a little ways to go yet. Let's go home. Make sure nothing's coming. away we go. Alright, we're going to drop these logs right here. We will have to attend to these logs pretty quick, because if not, we will get beetles in them and they'll get under the bark and penetrate the wood, which some people like that, so that's not always a bad thing. But most people don't. We've been having a doe hanging around in this tall brush right here. I'm going to take a walk out here and see if I see her. She'll stand up if I get too close. Got a pond right over there. If you see that birch tree right there, there's a pond right to the right of that and in front of it between us and you. She's hanging out in this tall brush or grass or weeds or whatever you want to call it. And she's got a baby with her. It's kind of cute to watch. The other day, the baby actually came walking up to me. I didn't touch it, but they're so cute. All right, I got a couple of chestnut trees. These are chestnuts, and they're a hybrid, supposedly resilient to the disease that killed out all the chestnut trees. And you see these black balls right here. What these balls are is they are root for rooting these branches. And what'll happen is these balls are full of dirt, and you skin the bark back on the branch here and put this ball around it, and supposedly roots will grow inside this ball, and in 6 weeks you just snip it off below the ball and you have a tree with a root system all ready to go. So I've got 2 of these trees. We had 4 originally, but 2 of them died. So we have some on this tree and some on the other tree, and we're hoping to be able to propagate more trees so we can plant more of these chestnut trees. Okay, we're heading back to the stump dump. Get one more log. All right, we're backed up over this maple log. It ain't very big, but boy, I can tell you right now, it is heavy. I'm a little leery because of this big crack right here. Told you we've had a lot of rain, and we are on the edge of a cliff. So I'm going to get this up here before I secure it, get away from that crack. Let those tongs start digging in, they'll grab. All right, that log is heavy. All right, we're going to wrap our rope around it, and then we're going to head home. All right, got the nose tied off. We'll just hang the excess rope right there. And that is ready for transport. Alright guys, I'm going to leave you with this view right here. There's an eagle flying right there, catching a little breeze. A couple of thermals. I'm sure he's looking for some fish. He's flying over that creek. Alright guys, I'm going to leave it with you right here. Thanks for coming along. And until the next one, Tim and I will catch you later.